This is The Space Shot, episode 234 for January 3rd, 2018. Emissary. Hey everyone, welcome to The Space Shot, your daily space history, pop culture, and news fix. I'm John Molnix.
Commence station log, Deep Space Nine, Commander Benjamin Sisko, stardate 46388.2. At the request of the Bajoran Provisional Government, Starfleet has agreed to establish a Federation presence in the system following the withdrawal of the Cardassian occupational forces. The first contingent of officers, including my Chief of Operations, Miles O'Brien, arrived 2 days ago on the Enterprise.
On January 3rd, 1993, 25 years ago today, the first episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine aired on TV. Emissary starts off with the Battle of Wolf 359 and the death of Benjamin Sisko's wife, Jennifer, as well as the destruction of the USS Saratoga during that battle. Sisko's traumatic experience losing his wife in that battle is one of the events that drives the narrative of this episode. I watched Emissary again recently, and it's been a while since I had seen any Deep Space Nine episodes. For a first episode, this one is pretty dang good. The different characters and the conflicts between them were refreshing because it helped drive their development and some of the plots of the series. After watching Emissary, I want to go back and watch other episodes, but there's no time for that just yet. I do enjoy how the extended episode and series arcs were part of Deep Space Nine. This show had some episodic content like The Next Generation and original series, but overall it had longer story arcs, especially once the story moved into the Dominion War. If you've got an hour and a half, check out Emissary. If you dive into watching the entire Deep Space Nine series, here's a tip. Go ahead and skip the first season episode, Move Along Home. I made myself watch the entire episode the first time I watched Deep Space Nine, and Move Along Home almost made me not want to watch the rest of the series. The episode is that painful to watch. Trust me, skip it and move along to the next episode. Since we're talking about Deep Space Nine, it's only fitting that one of the science missions I'm talking about today is named Deep Space 2. Deep Space 2, along with the Mars Polar Lander, launched on January 3rd, 1999 from Cape Canaveral. The Mars Polar Lander, as its name suggests, was to land near one of the poles on Mars, specifically the South Pole. Deep Space 2 had 2 probes that were to penetrate the surface of Mars at the South Pole, allowing scientists to study the properties of the material below the Martian surface. Sadly, the contact with the lander and the probes were lost, and this mission was a failure. According to a JPL report, the most probable cause for the loss of this mission was the premature shutdown of the descent engines. It's believed that a spurious touchdown indication occurred during the landing sequence, causing the engines on the Mars Polar Lander to shut down at about 40 meters above the Martian surface. This caused the spacecraft to fall, impacting the surface of Mars at 22 meters per second, a bit faster than the nominal touchdown velocity of 2.4 meters per second. As part of that report, JPL detailed all of the different failure modes that could take place during this mission, and it's a humbling experience to look at how many things could go wrong to affect the spacecraft. I'm linking to this JPL report in the show notes, so if you're interested in reading more, check it out. I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. I'd appreciate it if you could leave a review on iTunes. If you do that, screenshot it and send it to me at John Molnix pretty much everywhere on the internet, and I'll shoot you a Space Shot sticker and a little thank you. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe button, that way you don't miss any of the daily episodes. As always, the show notes have more information on today's episode. You can hit me up on Instagram and Twitter. Find me at John Molnix. I'm always up to chat. You can also connect with me on Facebook. Just search The Space Shot or click the link in the show notes. Tomorrow, Spirit. I'm John Molnix, and I'll catch you on the flip side.